Alright guys, just gonna go over the game that was sent to me so we can just talk about things you guys may have missed and just get an outside perspective on everything here. So we'll go over the first game. We should have the advantage and the overall advantage in the early to mid part of the game, but their late game with Sivir, Azir and Sejuani is going to be really strong. So the tempo of this game is going to be incredibly important just looking at these team compositions. So I am not completely sure of the matchup in the mid lane. I would assume that Azir can push faster than Swain, but Swain should be able to get some poke damage down onto him. Sorry, go faster. And then Jarvan should be able to set tempo as far as first ganks is concerned. So it's interesting. You're both doing the same invade. Okay, we left a trailing ward, which is good. We don't have information of them yet, but we should get it soon. Good job forcing the smite out there at least. So now, yeah, we're looking with the information that we have. This is good. We are just shoving the. Oh, I'm sorry, not shoving. We're just going to take the advantage to push and go invade for the second buff because we know that she does not have smite, which is the most important part right now, and that we should have lane priority in mid lane to start the game at least. So this is something. So we just use pull, and we're doing this here. Okay. Whenever the bot lane is not reacting to anything as well, and it did not, we had a ward on the buff. The only way that they would have warded anything was most likely in the bush. But it seemed like they came to lane right on time. I don't really think we need to roam here from the support's perspective because we have mid lane priority. As long as we are pushing even with them here, I don't think this is a moment when you have to roam because we know that the enemy jungler doesn't have smite because sorry, I don't know you guys name your names yet. Troll forced her to smite, so she can't really come contest this. She's just gonna be happy to trade buffs basically in vertical jungle here. So this is, you don't need to leave the lane here because we have mid lane priority. So this is gonna be more important that you actually stay in lane to get experience, and then this is a very fast pushing lane with heavy poke. You need to stay here since we don't need you to go assist the jungler at this point. So yeah, see, she just got chunked really heavy, and you're gonna miss. We'll see how many creeps. There's 2 casters already. We don't have information that they did ward the river here. It looks like Jarvan is coming down for a gank. So the most important thing that we need to communicate right now is that you have W and not Q. So the fact that you have W and not Q means we can go for some sort of gank here, but I wouldn't. And we're also kind of chunked here. I wouldn't necessarily go for basically an all-in here because she doesn't have Q. So this is something we need to communicate as well because we're going to create, if we don't get a kill on this gank, we're going to create time efficiency issues for the jungler. As yeah, that was going to be hard because Yumi can attach, she has the heal, and then Sivir has something else we need to communicate here too, just to help George with his time efficiency, is when Sivir's going to hit level 2, because if it was just 1 second later that you came in, she hit level 2, and then the spell shield would have came out to basically just stop everything, and you would have used flash. So communication is crazy important here. So as soon as we go back to the first part of the game here, where we saw the Sejuani here and forced her smite, then the communication from George is, I'm going to invade the blue buff, and then he's going to ask, the most important lane to get in priority in this instance is the mid lane, because we easily can shove them and make them lose experience here if they roam first. But Swain being able to roam first in this specific instance is going to be more important, especially since Morgana started with W. So your guys' communication in this instance needs to be very, very quick but thorough. Basically, I'm invading blue. Please push for priority mid. Um, and also, whenever Trolls saw Sejuani smite, obviously call that out. So we're well aware of that. I'm pretty sure you did. That's why we took the avenue to go do this gank. But the communication that you started W needs to be said to Jarvan as well. So just remember the small details. You don't have to talk a lot, but you definitely need to relay all the important information. So fast forward a little bit. We should. I still want to say I don't know that matchup mid lane much at all. I want to say that Azir will push faster than you, but you'll kind of chunk them out. But I'm not sure if you'll have actual kill pressure or not. So for these scuttles that are coming up, um, we need to talk about how we can or where we should be looking to get priority to get a scuttle, because we'd already lost some time efficiency with the gank bottom, just because of not talking about the vision part of this. They put two wards down there that I don't think we were ever aware of and saw. So them having vision there is not. I don't think that's on you guys, because I didn't see the original placement of it. I don't think anybody saw. But after that, like the time efficiency, so whenever we come and try to gank and use a flash and don't get anything, the enemy jungler obviously can respond, and now she has a small lead on us. Um, Even though she had to basically use her smite a lot earlier than she prefers to. Um, and this is also, like, right now we're going back. We don't have any hit points in the bottom lane, so we're giving up so much control of the neutral part of the map right now. So this is going to start to um, kind of get in Sejuani's advantage, which is going to be rough for us because Jarvan's supposed to have at least a slight tempo advantage early. I do believe this will turn into our favor in a few levels, maybe by level 4, maybe level 5. I believe you can start winning the trades handily. So she'll probably have to back off of you. So we have priority in this side of the river, but unfortunately, we already know that she's on this side of the river just based on her starting here and then going this side. So it's more likely she's here. So just that little bit, the gank, the time efficiency we lost from here is going to put Jarvan behind a little bit. So make sure you guys communicate all the little details that are really important, especially if he may try to come impact your lane right away. So say Swain was one creep off of having E level 2 and he went blue buff and then decided to gank mid, he would need to communicate that before he basically completed his or I'm sorry, not completed, started his gank, giving the enemy mid laner vision, because that would guarantee at least getting a Zer's flash as well. That's the same thing down here. We don't have the binding on Morgana, so it's going to be a lot more difficult. So we're wasting um, a good 5 seconds worth of time efficiency just because Sejuani can now at least get one camp ahead. So she is one camp ahead right now. And she already had the topside scuttle. So now she just finished Raptor, so she's technically 2 camps ahead. So that little bit of time efficiency, because we didn't communicate enough there, is going to cause her to get a small lead on Jarvan, which is not what we want because he should at least, well, she could farm um, just as fast, if not faster than him, but he should be able to be impacting the lanes sooner. So the fact that we had that one failed gank already because of communication means that she's going to have a big advantage now in the overall game. So let's look at farm. So right now she's at 2 camps ahead, and she actually just counter jungled us on the chickens if you didn't see there. We are leading top by a good little chunk. Same with bottom. Dead even mid. So right now the gold lead is 300 for you guys, and it's coming from bot and top. Excuse me. But our vision control overall compared to theirs right now is lacking. So something we need to be communicating, like our back timings, where the enemy is pinging or warding, so George can avoid that and just focus on his pathing. So at this point, since I don't think we've seen Sejuani for a good minute or so, we're not going to know that she's 4 camps ahead now, technically. I think you're finishing one of the camps right now, the Krugs. So she's 3 camps ahead. Oh, damn, that was close. So now mid lane doesn't have flash. They don't have heal still bottom lane, but they still have their summoners. And second buffs are coming up. So this is where communication needs to be ahead of time as well, because in about 35 seconds, 40 seconds, our blue and red buff are both going to be up. So that top side scuttle and yeah, our vision control, I'm not sure whose pink. I didn't pay attention to whose pink this one was, if it was Swain's or Jarvan's here. So our communication needs to be really starting to focus on basically the defense of these, because we know we have no way of, there's nothing for us to invade buff-wise coming up. It's all on our side. So do we have priority top? Do we have priority mid? Like, what can we do? So the reset timers of you, I'm not sure if you just overstayed after. No, I guess he just had potions and you didn't after you almost killed him. So the reset time for you to go back to base right now is actually perfect. So the fact that you may miss a little bit from this is fine, because we can at least, it'll give us the tempo to defend our buffs. So just make sure you guys are looking at like the 635, 640 mark for 1 second buffs coming up. And this is a vertical jungle game, so everything is on our side of the map to start. So we just need to be aware of that. And then also, it's easy for me to say this because I just saw this happen, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about in general, when this kind of stuff is about to happen. So a vertical jungle on our side of the jungle specifically, the enemy jungler has less need to be in her own jungle, so she may look to make plays around this time. Wow, you got out of that. Nice. And she had a burn flash. So my point is, she may look to make plays on this side of on one of the sides of the maps, so that she can invade the second buff and then create a bigger tempo lead just from experience, because she is clearly going to hit level 6 first. We now see her farm that she's 2 camps ahead currently. So just keep that in mind as well. For this is a specific instance where both first buffs are spawning on our side of the map. So now that we saw her show top, I don't think the play should be invade the blue. It should just be first dragon now, especially since she just was top. And looks like you guys are doing that nice. So good communication here, good awareness. Sorry, let me go back. I had it going too fast. So that was really good communication. We didn't have TP needed at Aurelia, so that's something important for us to have noted, which I'm sure was relayed, or you guys had the timers on it. So as soon as this is over, the thing to be aware of is how long it's been since we've seen the Sejuani and which way she exited as well. So going into their jungle here, I have no idea if you die. I'm assuming you do. So going into her jungle there after we got Dragon was greedy. If you had a ward just to drop in the entrance, that's perfectly fine. But us creating advantage for their failed gank here was the Dragon. So overextending to this is us losing track of where their team can be now after they've reset. So let's just go back a little bit to look where at least the Azir is, so we can actually track the Azir. So he's in lane. So and he's giving us vision that he's running this way as well. So we just kind of want to reset in lanes, especially since we don't know where Sejuani is technically. We just know that she was here, failed a gank, and then most likely recalled because she was relatively low, and there's no herald yet on the map, anything like that. So invading after we get the advantage, the trade advantage here, is greedy. So just have to be aware. We just need to basically reset the lane at this point. If you had a ward, like I mentioned, you could drop it like at the entrance and then just get out of there. Because all we need to do is when you guys are given information, if they don't gain anything from like the 2 versus 1 we had top for, we'll just use that for the example since that's what just happened. You just want to take one step ahead of them. So that's all you need to do. Just take small wins and don't look to basically be a little greedy because of back timings. So Azir just showed he was running this way. Sejuani should be relatively in this area because of how the timing of everything top lane went. So we're getting information of where she is, but we're losing so much more now. We should assume, based on the buff timers as well, that she could very well be coming to this side because her blue's up there, um, but also her entire bot side jungle's there. So remember, just take one small win and then reset. It's perfectly fine. If multiple of them are dead, or one of them's dead where you still have a numbers advantage, then it's perfectly fine for you to extend like that and look for more information. But we didn't have any wards or anything like that, so just keep that in mind. This looks like it's a good gank. Should get 2 off of this. Nice. And do we get another one? Nice. So you guys got 3 kills. Super clean here. Just looking at your inventories really fast. So we obviously would like to get some type of plates. We don't have any wards on Jarvan. We have wards on the other 2. Okay. So, and there's unfortunately no... we get this objective. So basically what we can get off of this is probably 1 plate, 2 plates, and then Raptors and the Scuttle. You should be going to Raptors first and then retreating to Scuttle. So let's see if you actually do that. So this is just a time efficiency thing. So you're not wrong to want to get the Scuttle, but you know she's dead, so this should be first, and then retreating to this is second. It's just a better use of your time because you had the opportunity because A, Sejuani died, and B, mid lane just got a kill as well, so you have complete control of the river, so you can easily go invade for 1 camp here as well, and then since this is on your exit, this is easily yours too. There's no contestation from her. She should easily be looking to go to the bottom side of the map no matter what when she respawns here. So, the fact that she's coming to this side right now was a mistake on her part, because if you had better time efficiency right there of just like what order you did things in, this camps first and then this is here for you, and it's because of the priority we have in the mid lane now because we just got a kill there. So just keep that in mind. Like any bit of information you get, just look to take that one step further. So Scuttle is good, but you could have easily taken this because she's dead and mid lane had all the priority because he got a kill as well. So this is just where you can slowly, like you're still one camp behind her technically, which you're going to catch up to her. But you would have got the chickens back that she invaded on you earlier to basically be dead even in that aspect. But you're ahead from the nice gank you had pulled off there, the counter gank. So you're up 600 gold. So just remember, you guys are given information. You win with information. That was a really nice Ash arrow with the W breaking the shield. So that was really nice. So you guys are rolling now. You're up almost 2K. You're up 1.8. Do we have vision or do we have any wards? We have a ward on Ash. We have Hawk Shot. I never know sometimes with a spectator if you actually have your cooldown up or not. Sometimes it just bugs out and doesn't say. But we do see Sejuani mid right now. Yeah. So she's pathing towards bottom as well. Which is actually good timing for us because this is the exact moment when, as a team, every game 10-minute mark, you should just be talking about Herald. You're seeing Sejuani path right now straight to the bottom side after we just killed both bottom. So immediately the macro play you guys should be doing is Agent, you should be going back to base and going straight to Herald, and George should be finishing this camp and going straight to Herald. Because at the 10-minute mark, you guys just want to have the conversation about Herald. Do we have any opportunity to do this in the next 2 minutes? You basically want to do Herald by the 12 to 12 and a half mark so you can drop it and finish off some plates. But this is when you need to start the conversation. So this exact instance, so this scenario that you guys are in, this is automatic beeline to Herald right now. Especially since you got information of where Sejuani is. So this is letting you know that at least one of her camps or 2 camps are up over here. So her time efficiency, or not time, this isn't time efficiency. Her pathing right now is easily going to at least be over here to Wolves. So by the time she finishes that, you could have already finished a recall and probably been to here. And you could have finished that and you can go straight to Herald. And remember, this is specific scenarios. Every game's different. You should start talking about Herald at 10 minutes, though. So at least start the conversation. So this is, in my opinion, a missed opportunity. The reset timing should have been sooner. So now she's already cleared both of her camps. So now us having that priority is lost. And a lot of this is a habit a lot of people do. You're always just running back to lane. You need to be the bottom side of your mid lane's river vision. Like you could be the pink ward for him on this side. Like, just get a habit of coming out of base, and if you guys don't have plans already, like I just mentioned, we should have already been talking about doing Herald because of the scenario that happened. You should be running not straight back to lane every single time. You need to be creating vision. We have no vision here, and since your support, like your job isn't just this side of these 2 spots basically revision, you're the whole damn bottom side. So that includes the bottom side of mid. So need to be more proactive and not just going straight into the bottom lane. Good roam. And this is even more more so now you guys can easily do the Herald. So the way things panned out, you guys are still going to get the Herald. They look like they've gotten 2 plates, which is fine. So now it's good. You got a massive lead now. So yeah, you want to be looking to get some plates here. So you can easily get 2 more plates, and that'll be excuse me. And this is a issue too of like us not creating vision earlier on this side of the map. But you guys are aware that the Sejuani is around here. So as soon as you get chunked that low too, you just need to leave. Like there's no reason to stay. I believe you guys pinged Sejuani about 20 seconds ago too, so you would be aware that she's on this side. So and then this is probably, I understand you're trying to back him up. I think you just TP'd a little early, but maybe I'm wrong here. Yeah, it looks like she's just suiciding now. She's smart to just suicide because you guys had priority, so I was wrong. I didn't notice we had priority mid, so it's good TP. I was just thinking because you didn't have ult, might have been too early. But we're now losing. Did we use Herald? I don't think so. So immediately now, those two are dead. We could easily be trying to extend some vision and putting a pink ward here though as well before going back. Just to extend some type of vision for the team. And we still do have the Herald, which we're using now, which is good. Looks like we'll get first turret here, so nice job. So you guys have a massive lead. So your easiest road to victory now is vision, because you have an insanely strong Kennen, and then everyone else is relevant. Swain is incredibly strong in comparison to Azir right now as well. He's already got 3 stacks on his rod, so no matter what, right now, you guys should be playing through your mid and top laner, and I'd be playing through if Troll tells you that he can 1v1 the Aurelia, then I'd be playing through Swain and letting him basically separate their squad. But you have to win by doing a better job advancing vision. You'd have to do that together. Like you guys you just broke laning phase right now, getting the first turret. So now your guys' whole objective is vision control, and you need to advance it. So we don't have the support item completed yet, and we don't have wards yet. So I'm just taking a look at summoners right now. So we have TP mid. We don't have TP on Kennen, so we should probably actually move Kennen to someplace closer. So probably swap him and the Swain, unless he says he can kill the Aurelia. If he can 1v1 the Aurelia, just keep him in that side lane all day. But for TP sakes, there's no objectives up right now, so I guess not. So Scuttle is the only objective. Our only 2 objectives right now is literally, besides turrets, obviously, is getting vision and the Scuttle Crab. So see, they're doing a better job. You guys have a massive lead, and they're doing a better job as a group, just traveling together to get vision. So you just have to be. You're collapsing on Sejuani right now. Let's see if we get anything done. So yeah, we're alting Sivir with spell shield up and everything. So this is, as a group, like you should be having 3-man death squads roaming, literally Swain, Jarvan, and Kennen roaming to get vision in in their jungle and just establishing vision to push them. It'll create space like you're doing right now. So you're pushing them this way. So now advancing onto this turret as a group is simple. But if you guys did it as like a as a smaller group with your strong members and just establish vision, you can just start walking the vision forward. It doesn't have to be all the way back here, but like establishing vision here, throwing vision here, so you can easily track them. You already have this pinked, and then you guys start advancing it. Good. See, this is good. You guys established like your dominance there and you pushed them back. So now you want to do the same thing, but you want to establish vision on this side here so you can do mid. And we're giving up uh, a lot of free income to the Aurelia, so we need to make sure that this time is well spent here. So we're resetting, and the bot lane is, well, they're going back to, oh, they're trying to do a pick. Okay. Sorry. Okay, still 2 for 1, but we have no, we're making a play there on um, a part of the map where we can't gain an objective afterwards. So I understand we won the trade there 2 for 1, but we're giving up experience and gold, and even opportunity for like push on a turret if they wanted to. So just remember, like if you're gonna do something, like they're gonna get a big chunk out of mid. I know they didn't get the turret. Okay. Just remember, whenever you're doing making plays for objectives, or I mean making plays, just make sure there isn't an easy objective on board. So I guess that was perfectly fine. There was no other main objective really up. Dragon's coming up in a minute, so what you did there is fine. Just make sure that's your communication in the game, though. Can we make a play top and then be like, no, Dragon's coming up in 30 seconds, let's not risk it because they could just trade. Um, just make judgment calls like that based on the information you have. So you guys have a really nice lead right now, 3.5K. Dragon's coming up. This is where, yeah, establishing vision as a group. It can't be solo. You have to be establishing the vision as a group, so someone doesn't get caught out. Especially, you guys have so much crowd control. You guys could easily get picks on them too. Like you almost got a kill right there. Um, so yeah, we need to make sure we have wave management taken care of for this dragon. And this is also a ocean drake, which you already have 2 of. So if you somehow position on the mid side of the dragon pit, so like they're actually doing exactly what I would want them to do in this situation, is if we positioned on this side with our backs this way and they're in this part of the pit, since I know it's third ocean and it would be great, but if this is what would happen, if we force them all to this side, we would be able to easily take that mid turret now and just make a trade. So our wave management is very important. So wave management up here looks fine. Swain's taking care of this down here, and he also has teleport. So you're positioning on Dragon anytime that you have the opportunity to. Always try to position on the mid side, especially when you have the control over the wave management there, the priority in the lane. So we're kind of grouped as 4 and Swain split, but they're constantly pushing the wave back to us first. We should easily just, yeah, put a ward here and then establish dominance in the mid lane to force them to kind of want to split and come to this side. So you guys can easily make a play for this half turret. But we keep positioning on this side. Obviously we can win a team fight right now, but I'm just talking about in general, like different ways you can look at objectives and how to get them too. Because now they're in their mind, they're like, fuck it, we're just gonna trade the dragon and try to get this turret. When we don't want to give up the, we already have two ocean drakes. It's perfectly fine if we don't get this one. We don't want to give up a turret in exchange. And then we're engaging really far ahead of our guys here. So let's. Okay. You guys are going to get a massive lead here now. So you should automatically be making a call here, and Kennen can easily go back to base immediately because he has teleport. Because if they want to contest something, he can easily just come right back in the lane. So we use the stopwatch to create a play there, and then you guys followed up. We're getting a turret, we're getting dragon. We're going to get two turrets. Nope. Um, so recognizing back timings after the first turret, we could easily then decide, do we have any wards to go establish vision? And we want to establish vision on the Baron side now because we're getting the dragon for free. So we could have easily taken that first turret, shoved the next wave, and then rotated as a group again to their top side jungle while we had the numbers advantage still to create vision control. If we had wards, we only have pinks right now available, and then also steal a camp away from them. So um, it's good that you guys wanted to go for this, but just realize the back timings from the people that are dead, or even if they just recalled, because those are the moments where you got half the turret, but it would have been far more valuable if you guys did establish some type of vision on this side of the jungle, because the Baron's coming up in 1 minute. So you could have invaded as a three-man group, seeing if Chickens was up, uh, and then drop the pink ward down. You could have dropped the pink ward here, you could have dropped the pink ward here, and then just reset. We already established vision, got the scuttle crab here. One of you could have got the scuttle crab before you reset. The other two could have reset. So just time efficiency. Wanting the second turret makes sense, but you have to look at back timings and death timers. So creating vision ahead of time right now, like just for this instance right now, say we did drop those two pink wards, the one up here and then the one here. Um, we would have at least known where the Sejuani was immediately, just so we have the information. If they clear that pink ward right away, it doesn't matter. You win with information, and you just have to always look to establish the vision. And that scuttle crab is still up. So if we lose that scuttle crab, that's going to be really bad for us. It looks like you guys are moving right now towards it. Okay, so what's our wards look like right now? We have blue trinket. You guys have tons of pinks in your inventory, which is really nice. We only have one other. We only have one yellow trinket available, and then the Morgana. So looks like you guys are gonna go make a play top. So this is Swain STP. So we'll see if they decide to engage or not. Nope. Okay. So this is exactly why establishing the vision, like advancing your vision, this is something you guys are struggling with this game, at least particularly, is getting vision into their jungle. So they got to rotate first onto us. I know Jarvan's there, but we don't have any vision of them to know where they're at, basically. So the bottom lane um, gets to roam second. And if the Yumi didn't throw her Q out there, I don't. Oh, never mind. There's a pink in that. I was gonna say I'm not sure if we wouldn't have engaged there, but we saw them on the pink. So you guys have to do a better job of actually talking with each other about advancing your vision, but you can't do it as Agent can't go do it by himself. You guys have to do it together, especially when you're this strong. Their jungle should not be theirs. And they are continually getting resources out of that topside jungle, which should not be happening. You guys are way stronger than them. And you guys could easily be setting up plays right now as well with like a 2 or 3 man play at Baron while the other lanes are being pushed because you're so much stronger than them. They cannot walk into the Kennen right now at all. So you guys should be establishing vision and forcing Baron on them right now, challenging them to come into the jungle where you have vision, and then you guys can just hard engage on them as soon as you do. You have Ash Arrow, you have long range engage with Morgana, Swain, Jarvan even, and then the Kennen will just come fucking wipe out anyone. So you guys, your only objective right now, because of how big your lead is you should be establishing vision in that topside jungle. Why won't this thing let me erase? You should be establishing vision in topside jungle, taking care of wave management, and forcing them to come basically check this quadrant of the map. Basically, the far part of their topside jungle into Baron, because you guys would literally just destroy them at this point. So we're doing a good job with the bottom side. Wait, like this is look, Sejuani and Azir coming down to that side. We should easily be forcing the Baron right now. And you have to win with information as well. You don't know specifically where they're at, so being pushed that far up is crazy. So you guys could easily be. Yeah, it just feels like we're forcing now. You guys should be forcing them to come to those choke points where they literally can't walk. Yeah. This is something I always tell teams I talk about is you have to stay parallel with your team. Stay balanced. I'll either say stay balanced or stay parallel to your team. So at no point can this line be behind whoever's splitting. So we'll go back to the instance here. So this is your line. Your line is in line with this right now, and we don't have vision established besides that one ward. So this entire avenue is theirs to create a numbers disadvantage. This is still fine if you guys are communicating that you're pushing this wave and then you're hard forcing over here, establishing a pink and then doing it. We still have 2 pinks. And then forcing them to come to you. Or just sitting here waiting for them to react to Swain. Because even if they kill Swain now, this is a free Baron for you guys. This is easily a trade in our favor. But you need to be pushing your advantage right now on objectives. So he's pushing on a turret. We don't have vision of their team. We're shoving mid. We should still be forcing them to protect Baron because this is exactly what we want. The TP play doesn't make a lot of sense. You guys should be hard forcing the Baron side right now. Because you guys are way stronger than them overall. They only have 3 kills. 2 of them are on Yumi. So you guys are insanely strong. So forcing a TP play like this, it should be the opposite. It should be a TP coming from the bottom side over to Baron. But we're just fighting in choke points versus literally their entire team is built for choke point too. Sejuani, Yumi, Sivir, Azir. Like this is just a mistake. But it just comes down to you guys, not going to really push your advantage for vision on this side of the map and fucking forcing them to come check this over and over again because of how strong, especially how strong Kennen is. Um, all of you are relatively strong, but Kennen is insanely strong right now compared to their carries, their mid, top, and bottom. So this is just a shot calling um, mistake here, but this can come from anyone. If you have a big lead like this, there's a clear objective on the board that should be contested. So since you have a massive lead, you should be fucking taking over vision and then forcing them to come check it over and over and over again. So now you're it's like 6, 7. It might even been more than that. Lead is gone just because of thought process of where you are in the game, especially since you guys are on a clock with their composition. So you really want to force them into situations. You guys did a great job in the early game establishing like gigantic leads where we needed them to be. And Siver's just raining down on us right now. Hopefully Kennen. And it's just that the one missed shot call basically gave them a decent spike. Let's just look at the carries. So 90 Sivir has more than Ashe and Gold. Dead even mid lane. Sejuani's ahead, and now Aurelia is dead even. Aurelia being dead even is really nutty for how the game actually transpired. It looks like they just win off of this as well. So the most important part of this game is just when you have a lead, especially when you guys have an early game to mid game hard tempo team team composition where tons of CC. You really need to start talking about establishing vision in their whatever the objective is, that side of the jungle, and then just uh, pressing that on them all day. Like we should easily be shoving these into just establishing more vision. Like we actually have one ward back here right now. If we just got literally one more ward and like a pink here and then clear the plant if it was up, you could easily start forcing Baron. Because look at the Aurelia. 5 minutes from now, she's 4-2. So this is just knowing where to push your advantages or how to push your advantages, and it always starts every single game. It doesn't fucking matter what your composition is. You snowball your lead out of control to where they can't win by vision. You guys have to do it as a group. So you have to communicate. All right, we pushed this. Let's go do this. Can we force Baron? That should be part of your conversation. Can we force them to come to Baron? Swain has teleport right now. He can easily shove 1 or 2 waves, and then he could either stay in the bottom until someone responds. As soon as one person responds to him, he can easily now just back up and look to TP to you guys, or stay there to make sure that they stay as well, because they only have one teleport on their team this game for this scenario. So like you have such an advantage in this game. There's no it's 6k, 6.2k. There's no way in hell you guys should lose this game. And it all comes from us not establishing vision first as a group and then forcing them to come to the objective. Because they either just give up the fucking objective and try to play at the turrets because they do have really strong wave clear with Sivir, Azir, and even the Sejuani W. Um, or they come and try to contest it because they're panicking because you guys they're a late scaling composition and it's only 22 minutes in the game, not even 22 minutes in the game. So just really start to talk to each other, especially in games where you're ahead, about walking your vision forward as a group, and then talking about can we force the Baron, um, and then also do we have teleports? Do they? Can we bait out the blue trinket if they have a blue trinket. Like all those small details are really important, but everything's based off of vision. So just make sure you guys do a better job in games like these, especially because you should never lose a game where they draft almost all um, late scaling. Aurelia is the only one I won't consider late scaling. She's mid game team spike. But even with that, like you guys, yeah, should easily have won this game. So, and that's what sucks sometimes about this game. Is you guys played really well. Obviously, there's a few mistakes, but that happens every game. It's whatever. Um, but one mistake in this game, get a Baron, and you can just lose basically, and they win one more team fight because of positioning. So just make sure you guys. That's the most important thing I'll take away from this game is that you guys talk about after laning phase is broke, doesn't matter what it is you start talking about we need to establish vision on this side of the map. And if it's defensive, say you're losing, you need to be um, creative warding basically. You don't want to just put it in the normal spots all the time because they'll just sweep or put a pink there. So you want to put your wards like in unique spots. So if they sweep something, it's going to be harder for them. So you like put a ward here or here, so a pink ward won't get it from there, or put your own green ward here, so if they put a pink in the bush, or put it back here, I guess, so this pink won't get it, that won't get it if they're advancing on you. So just be creative with your warding if you're doing defensive. Don't always just put it in these fucking bushes because they'll just sweep all of them on one shot. If you put it in unique spots, it's going to be harder for them to clear multiple or all of them. They'll need they'll need multiple sweepers, which obviously can happen still too. But just talk about advancing your vision when you have massive leads like this, and then talk about like how you guys got this top outer is basically showing your dominance and forcing them to back up like they did here. They back this way, and then you just rotate to the turret, and it's free. And you could still have someone here just to catch the wave and gain the experience. So that's the biggest thing I'll take away from this game is uh, you guys should easily be talking about those sort of things more often. So just keep that in mind for whenever you're playing more games. Good luck.